Let's talk about what happened to Froggy last night.
Gosh.
He took Caden out for his birthday dinner, and I wanted you to take him to that expensive lobster place. And why didn't you go?
Well, we just didn't have time yesterday.
You're cheap.
Okay, yeah, that too.
But they went to a cool place.
You went to a great place for dinner. Okay, what
So
happened?
we went to a place that we go, and it was great. So we sit down. We're sitting in a booth. I'm in one side of the booth. Cade's on the inside. I'm on the outside. Lisa's on the other side.
What'd you order?
We ordered steaks.
Okay.
So the gentleman brings the food on the tray and sits it down. He puts mine down first on the outside. He then leans over to put Cade's steak down on the other side of me, and a piece of sweat falls off of his chin or hair and drips onto my steak.
Okay, so the guy, a drop of sweat fell off of his head onto your steak.
Yeah, like I saw it midair, like falling, and I'm like,
Slow
no!
motion.
And it fell right on the middle of my steak.
Did you? So now you send it back, right?
No, so he then puts Lisa's down, and I'm sitting there, and Lisa's like, what's wrong? I said, you're not going to believe what just happened. And he was a very sweaty guy. And so now I don't know what to do.
He salted your steak.
Yeah, but I didn't want to call the manager over. I didn't want to embarrass him. Like, I just felt really bad. So I tried to eat around where I thought it fell.
Oh.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I ate like the edges, and then I just didn't finish, and then I had some of Caden's.
Okay, so you know what Brody would have done? Brody, if you were with Froggy last night, when the waiter dripped sweat on his steak.
Forget it.
First of all, I would have pointed it out. Second of all, my steak would have been free, and then I would have gotten free dessert because even is not even.
Better call Brody.
That would have made the guy feel bad, like he was working really hard and he was sweaty, and I mean, I felt
very
bad.
sweet of you, but do you want to eat DNA? I mean, really?
It's not your job to care and feel bad for the guy. He sweated on your steak.
Yeah.
And then the worst was when he comes to get the plate up from the table. I haven't eaten it all, obviously. And so he's like, oh, would you like a box? And I'm like, no. And Lisa's like, are you sure you don't want a box? And take that home. You could have it later. I'm like, Lisa, shut up.
Can you just sweat on a slice of key lime pie? Well,
I mean,
okay.
what do you do?
You know, okay. First of all, look, we know that working in the service industry is a very difficult job, and he was sweating. He was working hard, and
he was sweatier than normal.
And, okay, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, right? We don't hold it against him.
No.
Whatever.
Some people sweat more than others.
I'm sure he's a very nice guy, but Froggy.
Yes.
You could have maybe discreetly said, hey, you know what? I just noticed you sweat a little on my steak. Would you mind having another one made for me? I would.
do it.
And you're a sweet guy. I know you don't want to make him feel bad. And
What if you told him it was too well done? Like you could have said, oh, the steak is too cooked, and then they would have made you another one.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done that, but then I got to wait and everything else, and I felt bad for him.
I'm sorry.
Actually,
You know what? Can you let the chef know this steak it tastes sweaty?
It's very soggy. This is a soggy steak.
So later he came back to deliver something else. He's like, "Oh, here you go, thanks." And he said, "Sorry it took so long." I said, "Oh, no sweat."
Well,
no
look,
worries,
okay.
thanks."
Another no sweat. Another way of looking at this is God knows what happens to the food before it gets to our table,
They
and
might put worse on it.
we don't want to know what happens to the food.
What if he sneezed on it? Would you have sent it back then?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he would know that was wrong. He doesn't know that he sweat on my steak. He didn't know.
Well, I don't. What's scary?
If you think about it, we put a lot of filthier things in our mouth on the weekends and any day of the week.
On the weekends.
So who cares about?
So you would have eaten it, Scary?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
I've eaten food with hair in it. I'm like, who cares? You pull the hair out and you move
Why
on.
are we only putting these things in our mouth on the weekends?
Why are you disrupting?
Because the weekend is made for putting stuff in your mouth.
But if you
I like this. Scary. I've eaten food with hair on it. You pull the hair out and you move on.
Do you know how many times I've seen hair in my food, and then I'm like, you know what? Who cares? It's hair.
Okay. Now, what if your waiter was sad and he cried on your steak? What if he was? What if tears of sadness
You feel bad?
were dripping down on your sirloin?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Scary. If you witnessed his sweat drip from his brow onto your steak, you would eat it?
Not a problem. I think about the grand scheme of things.
Greg, come here. Run in place. Get sweaty. I want Scary to eat you.
I started getting like the gags. Like when I was trying to eat, I started getting like my throat was like starting. I'm like, I can't believe I'm eating this.
I've never heard it called the gags.
I always get like
I can't believe you ate it.
and then I even tried to drown it in steak sauce, and I still couldn't do it.
What?
I couldn't do it.
What, Greg T? What?
I'm here. You told me that here Scary's going to eat me or something?
Run in place and get sweaty. Scary's going to lick the sweat off of you.
Okay. It'll be salty.
Pretend you're a steak.
He's running in place.
I have no fear of that stuff.
Hey, Josh, come here.
For how long?
Okay, I was kidding. Okay, you can leave now. Coaster Boy Josh is here, everyone. Hi,
Josh.
Coaster Boy.
How you
Okay,
feeling?
you know I'm not going to pass judgment on you at all.
Okay.
Are you stoned?
No, why?
Because he has that look of I'm stoned on
But
his
he
face.
always has that look.
I wish I was.
I don't know. Well, no, you can come over later and get high, but I think you look like you're a little stoned
Are
today.
you wasted?
I just have that natural presence about me.
Okay, let me ask you, just a man on the street. Hey, I don't know you, but I have a question.
Okay.
If you ordered a steak at a restaurant,
Okay.
and the server put it on your table, and a drop of sweat fell from his brow onto your steak, would you send it back or would you eat it?
I'd eat it.
Josh.
What?
We'll talk about it. No, why?
Because it just blends in with the moisture. You could barely even. You're not going to taste it or anything.
But you don't know what's in that guy's
all-
pores. You don't know what he's sweating out.
Yeah, you don't know what he's got in there.
I think it's just all a mental thing. Get over it.
Wow, all
Thank
right.
you, Josh.
So you
Thank
agree
you.
with Scary?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like that I agree with Scary on something, but
Yeah, that's the travesty.
Yeah.
You agree with Scary. All right. All right.
just throw some.
Isn't sweat kind of urine?
Well,
It's excretion, right? You're excreting stuff from your body.
Yeah.
and I love the fact that we're making such a big deal about eating a drop of sweat off of dead cow flesh.
Okay.
No one
is true.
questioned Froggy about eating a piece of a bovine.
Well, somebody said to me last night, but how do you know the cook doesn't sweat on it? He might, but then it's on the grill and it cooks and it's okay. Like this happened right in front of my face.
Yeah, I
I might as
wouldn't
well
eat
it. Yeah.
have licked his brow
It's like
and then
what
eat
you
my
don't
steak.
what you don't know don't hurt you.
I didn't tell you
Right.
about, Danny Meyer is one of the most famous and successful restaurateurs in America. A Burger Shack, he owns that chain, but here in New York City, he owns the best restaurants. He came to my table to say hi to me one day, and a little piece of spit came out of his mouth and landed on my plate.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if Danny Meyer spits on your food, it's got to be fabulous. And I didn't say anything, and I ate the whole thing. But it's Danny Meyer.
Yeah, but there's certain people that, like, if Scary spit on your steak, you wouldn't eat it.
Wait, we're talking about spit?
No, it's a sweat.
Oh, okay.
You
okay.
would eat sweat, but how
I
about
would.
spit?
I would send spit back.
Wait a minute, what's the difference?
No,
I'm
but
glad you draw the line there, Josh.
But it's Danny Myers
It's
spit.
coming from the same place.
Can't you get like herpes from spit or something?
No, but
Okay.
he's a famous restaurateur. I mean, he's has the best restaurants in the world. I bet his spit tastes great.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd eat. What is it? Were we talking about Shake Shack?
Well, no, he doesn't spit. No. He owns the Shake Shack brand, but
They have great fried chicken sandwiches, by the way.
I love
Where
them.
at Shake
Yeah.
Shack?
They can spit on those any day. I know.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Coaster Boy Josh.
All right.
He says he's not stoned, but I think he is.
I don't know,
bye.
Josh.
A little round of applause for Coaster Boy Josh. All right, what's scary?
If it was a hot waitress who sweated on my steak, I'd ask for seconds.
Really?
Yeah, who cares?
Are you serious?
No, you wouldn't.
Think about it.
I'm trying to think
You're
who,
weird.
If, who
Go away.
could have sweat on my steak and I'd be maybe
David Beckham.
Yeah, maybe
If-
David Beckham.
Yeah, if one of the if one of the Hemsworth brothers
Oh, yeah.
sweat on my steak,
If Thor sweat on my steak, bring it on,
I mean,
Thor.
Aaron Judge. What if Aaron Judge sweat on your
Aaron
steak?
Judge, I'm going to take Aaron Judge too. John Carlos Stanton.
yeah,
I'm good
give me
for
a
it.
list of the people who are allowed to sweat on your steak.
Some
What
of
if
the-
Bobby Flay sweat on your steak?
Nope, I'm sending it back.
Oh, he's a great chef. I bet
Right.
Bobby. I've never tasted his spit, but I bet it's delicious or his sweat.
Goes back.